Celestial friends! I'm Echo, the Saving Sorceress, and today we're going to turn all those conversations amongst families that are happening across the US for Thanksgiving week on their heads and celebrate failure. If you live in the US, it's pretty likely that right now you're visiting family, either in person or online. While seeing parents, siblings, distant relatives, and in-laws can be wonderful for some people, for others, it's a nightmare, a constant reminder of their own perceived failure. And that just sucks. But the thing is, every human being fails at something. People can be really cruel about it, but let's be honest, no one is immune to failure. We are a whole world of failure here. I think it's time we recontextualize failure. Let's normalize this. It doesn't have to be something that exists as a dark mark on our lives for all of eternity. Failure almost always has the opportunity to be a stepping stone towards self-improvement, discovery, and future success. And that's something to value and even celebrate. So, in light of that delightful notion, I present to you the first in a series celebrating failures. Yeah, not my own, mostly. As a crafter, gardener, and sewist, and video creator, as well as a person who struggles with a host of mental health issues like severe anxiety and depression, I'm no stranger to failure. In fact, it's a huge part of my life. So, without further ado, let me share with you some of my latest failures. I really enjoy making jewelry. I'm definitely not a professional, so sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. In my experience, I've got some good stuff that I'm really proud of, but this is not one of those things. It could go very well with what I'm wearing, but it doesn't, because honestly, it goes very well with nothing. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't really tell what's wrong with it exactly, but there's something wrong with it. It's got potential, it just didn't reach it. And honestly, if you can tell me what you think went wrong here, it's lacking something. Maybe we can figure it out together. I don't know. I just want it to be pretty. Maybe on the video it'll show up as much better than it is. That's possible. And if that's the case, you'll just have to trust me and that this is not it. I mean, maybe the beads are too big or the gold color just doesn't go with them well. I mean, red and gold, I'm not a Gryffindor, but if I was, you'd think this would be the perfect necklace, but it's just not. It is just not. It looks like a large clown mouth with a goatee. Do you see that? That's kind of terrifying, right? So yeah, I'm gonna figure out something new with this though. I'm not giving up here because you know what? This necklace has potential to be something good. I know it. And I'm just gonna find that. By themselves, the pieces are pretty. It's just the final execution that is lacking. I think I am going to transform it into a sort of beaded headband. I think that could be kind of cute. I mean, it might show up in my next failure video, I don't know, but, and it's gotten stuck in my hair, so perhaps. Sure, I got it wrong. I didn't know what I was doing, but you know what? That's okay. It doesn't have to be the end. I don't have to just give up. I'm gonna revisit this and see what I can do to fix it. Make it something I'll actually use so it doesn't just hang in the back of my closet for the rest of my life. This is not over yet. I'm not going to give up until I figure out something that I could do. I've been interested in making hats for a long time. I mean, obviously, being a very witchy person, I wanted to have witch hats. And I was kind of sick of the old cheap witch hats that you can find in the stores. For a long time, there were no good options. Only kind of crappy ones. And I guess maybe some really expensive ones, but I'm not shopping in those stores. So I gotta make what I have, you know? I gotta be crafty. And so I thought, a witch hat can't be hard. Surely I can tackle this. So I made this something. This lovely something. It's dark, so I'm not even sure you can really get a handle of its magnificence. It's something. I think I thought it would be a cute little accessory. And then when that clearly would not work out, I was like, oh, I made this for dolls. It was definitely never for me. It was for dolls. So clearly it's for dolls. But it didn't even work there, because you might be able to see it's totally flat on the bottom, but it's sort of, I thought if I added some padding inside, it would hold its shape really well and have a nice little brim. That did not in fact happen. It's got a very interesting brim, which I would never in a million years call attractive. I added the little ribbon because I was like, oh look, it's gonna be cute. I'm gonna salvage this. I think the ribbon might have made it worse. I mean, it just sticks off of it. I tried my best. For a long time I was like, oh, I don't even want to look at it. But you know what? I'm gonna learn from it. So I'm not magically good at making hats. That's okay. I have a place to start. It might be kind of a crappy place to start, but it's a place to start. It at least resembles a witch hat if you look at it from really far away. But, you know, thanks to this failure, I know that I actually need to do some research. I actually need to look into what other people are doing. I tend to be the type of person who's like, I can figure this out myself. I'm not stupid. But like, it's kind of stupid to ignore what people have been doing for hundreds of years in hat making. Other people are experts, and it's good to take other people's advice sometimes. I think I could make a good hat. It's just, it's not this hat. And maybe I'll figure out a way to salvage this one too. I can always take it apart and try again. That's one of the best things about crafting and sewing. Most things are not permanent mistakes. You can go back and revisit them. And honestly, in life, most things aren't permanent mistakes there either. It's important to remember that. It feels like something really big that really sucks, and maybe at the time it is, but things can get better. And we can all get better at what we're doing. You don't have to start with a failure and then continue being a failure and continue making failures. You can start with a failure and turn it into a success. Oftentimes it just takes hard work, practice, and, you know, a little bit of luck. I know that I'm not giving up, and that's what's important. I really don't want to give up. Hat making is still something that's a passion of mine. I'd love to make, you know, those mushroom hats that are really big right now. I'd love to make an actual good witch hat. And I don't know, I just really like wearing hats, so I'd love to make all kinds of hats. Beanies, fancy hats that they wore on the Titanic. You know, variety. I'd love a variety, but I'm definitely not ready to give up. This might be my first failure. It won't be my last failure, but sometime I will have a first success and another success, and we'll keep going from there. I believe in us. I believe in us. So, as you know, I love gardening, and when you're gardening, you learn pretty quickly that everyone's probably kind of a little bit of a failure at gardening. Plants are gonna die, and sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I have plants where I'm like, why are you dying? I've given you water, I've let you dry out, I put you in the sun, I put you in the shade. I don't know what you want from me, and I'm really upset about it. It's just, plants are rough sometimes. I show you my successes, but I wanted to show you right now one of my failures. It's not maybe quite a whole failure just yet, but it's kind of upsetting to me. This is a Pothos plant, and they're supposed to be really easy to grow, which I was like, cool, great, where can I get one? And I finally found this plant at the store, and I was like, it's gonna be awesome. You're supposed to be able to put them in a corner in the darkness. You You don't have to water them much. You can just leave them in your house and it's like, they'll just thrive. And in some cases that's true. Note plant behind me. That plant is doing pretty well. I thought it was dying. It has a brown part on it, but it's been thriving over here and I have hardly touched it. I'm in love. But I bought this plant at the same time. They actually came from the same pot. It was a very full pot. And it just isn't doing so well. This is a brand new little baby leaf that recently just withered away to nothing. How have I forsaken you, plant? I don't understand. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I just don't know why these easy plants keep on dying on me. I've tried to let it dry out because they do not like wet roots. I started putting them in the sun originally, but then I noticed that they really seem to not like that in my house, so I put this one in a shaded area, and it's just twisting in a bizarre way. These leaves look very, very sad. I wish I had solutions. I don't know what to do. That's honestly what I'm learning from this one. Yes, it's a failure. Or maybe not entirely just yet, but it very well could be in a couple of weeks. But it's okay not to have all the answers. The grandest thing to get from all this is that it's okay to just say, I don't know. It's okay to ask for help, which I will. I have some plant loving friends. I'll definitely ask them some questions. But it's okay to say, I'm not perfect. I don't know how to do things. I'm not an expert, and even if I was an expert, it would be okay to have a failure once in a while. Even when something is supposed to be super easy and everyone else can do it, it's okay. I don't have to be good at everything. I don't have to be the most amazing gardener. I can just be a gardener that loves my plants, cares for my plants, and does the best I can. I just gotta learn. You can't start at 100%. There's going to be a learning process, and things take practice and just background knowledge that you're not gonna get from just leaping straight into something. So yes, I might have to sacrifice a couple of leaves, but it's in the pursuit of knowledge. Perfection's not the goal. Feeling good about ourselves is the goal. If you can feel good about yourself while you're still failing, I think that's a success on its own. I think success is a state of mind, and failure is a part of life. So if you just take your failures as they happen and say, that's okay, we'll move on from here, you're already being a success. I really truly love sewing, so I kind of fancied myself a bit of a fashion designer when I was younger, and I really wanted to work on creating something that was all my own. No one had ever done anything like this before. That's usually what I say right before I fail at something. This is actually not, I guess, my newest failure, but it's certainly a failure. As you can see, it's not great. The cutouts here are interesting, sure, but uneven. I tried. I just learned that, you know, some ideas aren't good ideas. And that's okay. It's okay to have ideas and try them out and find out that they just don't work. The back is even weirdly puffy here around the neckline. It just puffs out in a way that's unattractive at best. I also learned when I was wearing it, which you can see here, that not every person can pull off every style. And that's fine too. You've got to figure out what works for your body and not just make clothes for a body or buy clothes for a body. You're buying and making clothes to make you look good. If the clothes aren't looking good, that's not your body's fault, that's the clothes. And if you're making clothes that aren't quite right for your body, it's time to try a new style. Not every style is gonna look good on every person. And to be fair, I don't think this would look good on most people. There was an attempt. And you know what? It's okay to try something new and interesting. If it doesn't work out, you don't have to do it again. I will not be making another shirt like this. It's possible I could still fix it up, and if not, I will have it here as a reminder that it's okay to not be perfect at something. I've made loads of clothes that I do love and that I'm really proud of. It's alright to have something that's just a little bit I'll get better at it, and even then, again, I'm sure I will continue to have a few failures here and there, but it's not the end of the world. I'll just make sure I don't do them on expensive fabric. This was an old shirt of my dad's. I really loved the shirt. Still love the fabric, so I could repurpose it for something else later on. And if not, you know, it's alright. It's alright. And that's something to remember. I can move on from this and make something better later. I think I've done pretty well at failing lately. I'm gonna try for success. If it happens again, that's okay. I'm gonna keep trying. So what have you failed at lately? Don't be afraid to tell me. I'll commiserate with you in the comments. And if you can think of a way to spin your failure in a more positive direction, that's awesome. Please share that as well. No pressure though. That's the hard part. We've got to get over this hump of being embarrassed and horrified by our failures. We've got to embrace them. But I think we'll all get better at figuring out the silver lining when we have enough practice. If you happen to enjoy this video, I would really love it if you would add a like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more videos like this, and videos about gardening, sewing and thrifting, witchy life, and saving things. I'll be back next Thursday with a brand new video, so see you soon. And remember, my celestial friends, save whatever silver linings you can find. Be kind to yourself and to the universe, and try to add a little bit of magic wherever possible to your corner of the world. Bye. Oh my gosh, there's a spider in the corner, and I think it might be one of the poisonous ones. If you don't hear from me again, blame the spider. And grouse. Okay, see? That's what I'm talking about. Every time I try to talk, the heater comes on because it's really, really cold. Fear. It doesn't have to be something that looms on our dark marks. Oh my gosh, what a fail.